देखना कैसा है आने वालों ये तो बताओ शहर मदीना कैसा है शहर मदीना कैसा है दीवानों
And welcome to the Mahtab Aziz Celebrity Lawyer Show. We hope you're well on this Friday. And today's guest is a former London mayoral candidate. And he's also a man of many talents, a former boxing promoter, and a very knowledgeable financial expert. So, good afternoon, Shyam.
Afternoon, Mahtab. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. I hope you're well.
Good, I'm well.
I can't help but notice your very bright tie there. Very well done.
Yes, the British London tie
Right.
for England.
Right, excellent. Let's start off with your surname, Batra. That must have some sort of history behind it.
Batra, Batra, yes. It's my father's name. He was a minister quite high up in the government in India a long time ago.
Right. Great. And originally, your father was which area of India were they living in?
I think Delhi, I believe.
Oh, Delhi. Oh,
yes.
Okay.
A long time ago.
Right.
Before I was born.
Great. Okay. Well, you I think you lived all your life in England, or most of it?
Yeah, I was born in the UK.
Right.
Actually, Hillingdon Hospital.
Right.
But most of my life has been lived there. But my father travelled quite a lot.
Right.
Extensively through various countries because he was quite high up in the government there. And so I have vague memories of things that were going on and stuff. But most of the time I've lived here, yes.
Right.
And lived abroad and stuff and done all the things that normal people do.
Right. Well, I mean, let's go back a bit. I mean, I mentioned earlier on that you, in fact, had been a boxing promoter.
Yes.
What sort of attracted you to the profession of promoting boxing?
Oh, I loved boxing since I was a child. I used to follow Mike Tyson and all the other big fighters. And I remember I found going through all my nonsense from the last many years. I found like when I was 9 years old or something, I wrote a piece on Mike Tyson.
Right.
I think it was published in the local paper.
Right.
But I always had visions of doing something special going into boxing. I was the first Indian boxing promoter. And we did about 25 fights globally across 25 to 30 fights we did with Peter Maniatis, promoter in Australia.
Right.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
Very good.
Very commendable guy. And we worked fantastically well. We made lots of champions. We worked with some of the great fighters.
Right.
And I'm now thinking of coming back for just one show.
Great. Well, you should more than one. Your track record seems, does suggest that you were quite good at it. So perhaps it's something you can come back into. I mean, thinking back, which fight sort of got your nerves up, prior to the fight? Which fight was it that you thought, well, I hope this doesn't happen, or I hope, because often that happens with professional boxing. You get to do fights, and there's some sort of aspect, and you're really nervous about it, and then there's a sigh of relief once it's all over.
My role was predominantly to motivate the guys, do the deals for them. Peter used to select them, get everything organized, and then we used to put on the shows. But I mean, every fight is nervous. It's like it's normal for even. I feel as if I'm there with the fighter inside, and I'm very passionate, and I want them to succeed. Of course, there are some disappointments that we can tackle, but and then we go back and find out what happened. What I mostly enjoyed was sitting down with the fighters and going through the TV shows and watching the other opponents, how they've boxed, and how we could manage and see if we could find other ways of tackling this guy if he was quite dangerous or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But overall, I loved it. I want to do it again.
Oh, that'd be great to see you back.
Yeah.
And I mean, in terms of all those fighters that you were involved in, which one sort of impressed you most?
I don't know. There's far too many to mention. But going back in the years, there was a whole heap, because we were also dealing with Australia as well. So we had a lot of fighters that the public may not know about here.
Yeah.
But Fighting Crew will, of course.
Right.
But I enjoyed my time with them, and the good thing is that we made good friends with everybody. Yeah, there were disappointments, of course, and then to go back and to find out why. But isn't that a promoter's job?
Yeah.
The idea is, I mean, today's promoters, they're just about money. They're not about the fighter. They don't care if he wins or loses, because a lot of the contracts now are completely differently created.
Right.
So, I mean, people like Usyk, I mean, I knew from the beginning he's going to be a massive champion. A very talented man, very talented man, and focused. Doesn't talk anything, doesn't say a word, just gets on with it.
Absolutely. Another thing I like about him, I mean, he's a very intellectually, he's actually very good in terms of, for instance, he doesn't always jump on a bandwagon about something.
No,
he won't just because someone's saying to him this happened. He won't, and he always takes a very wise sort of. I mean, recent example is when he was being interviewed, and they asked him, don't you think that the referee, prevented you from getting a KO? And the obvious answer everyone was expecting was, yeah, you should. I nearly knocked him out, and the referee just saved him. He didn't say that at all. He said, look, that's the referee's job.
That's right.
And my job is to fight. And I can't tread on the referee's toes. He did what he thought was right at the time, and he did it. And I have to acknowledge and give him great credit for that, because not many boxers, because boxers always like to, they like to sort of give some sort of reason as to why they didn't have a better performance than they did. So, but he's not like that at all. So I think, great.
I mean, Tyson was another one. I loved his fights. I went to all of his fights, especially the one when he bit his ear.
Yes, Evander.
But I was right in the front row, and it was shocking. You could hear that bite, and the noise.
Yes,
but I mean, he's another one that never spoke too much. He just got on with the business.
That's right. Yeah, I think Mike Tyson's a very a very exceptional person in the sense that if you look at it, I mean, technically Lennox Lewis was a lot better of a fighter than him, but if you had two guys like Lennox and Mike Tyson walking down the street, who do you think? Where would the public sort of run to? Do you think?
Tyson, of course. Of course. I mean, Lennox. I know Lennox, but Lennox again was, I would say, in terms of fighting, a humble fighter.
Yeah.
He didn't again say too much. He just got on with the job, and I think that's what I mean. The way they do these press conferences now to hype people up, to push them around and smack them, and you do that in the ring.
Yes.
The war needs to take place in the ring. That's why I think the wars in the world, the two prime ministers and presidents need to come into the bloody ring and deal with things, because it's really ridiculous what is going on.
I totally agree, and I have to say that my personal view is that I think the negative aspects of MMA are creeping into boxing, because we don't usually see this level of disrespect,
and this bare knuckle has now come in even bigger. I mean, the UK boys have sold out for £38 million,
right,
to the US firm, and now I think McGregor is involved in it somewhere. I don't know.
Yes, well, so it seems, if you look at history, anything that the Americans touch on, unfortunately, always. It takes on a different sort of shape and form, but so I mean, and also this other point I wanted to mention regarding Mike Tyson, because I knew his business manager quite well, actually, Steve Lott. He unfortunately died in 2021 from an epileptic fit at his home. A very, very nice guy, and he used to be the guy. He used to walk with Mike Tyson carrying up his belt. and he looked a bit like don't know whether you remember the Hulk, the TV series. The guy,
Lou Ferrigno.
yeah, no, he was the actual Hulk, yes, but the other guy who played Dr. Banner.
Yes.
Steve Lawton was like a spitting image of him. He looked like his twin brother or something. That's
my
what
God.
he looked like. Yeah. So I think, as I said, I think Mike Tyson does have this sort of X factor about him, in the sense that he, when he speaks, people actually believe what he's saying. They don't actually doubt what he's saying, and he just seems to be very, like a very transparent person in that sense.
He seems he's a nice guy.
Yeah, nice guy. Okay, so I mean, so hopefully we'll see you back in promoting.
We're going to do. I'm not going to give much away, but we're going to do the biggest fight in the world.
Right.
And I'll leave it to people to work out who it's going to be.
Right.
But it's going to be huge.
Yes. Well,
and a different way of doing it.
Yes.
I don't like the way they do this. They just run after the money, but they don't care about the venue or anything else. It's boxing is like a bicycle. You need all the components inside.
Yes.
And the sport gets stronger and better, because the idea is to inspire children who may want to get into this sport, and to find successful Olympic champions, etc. That would come back in. I mean, it's a great sport. I love it. Better than football.
That's right. I'm talking about Olympic champions. Our GB heavyweight is a boxer called. I think it's called, his first name Delicious. Delicious.
Delicious.
I do apologize. I forget his second. His first name is so sort of extraordinary. I just remember his first name being Delicious. But he's a super heavyweight, contender, and so I don't think there'll be many people wanting to question him as to
Delicious.
why. We hope he does well. We hope. Wish him all the best, and hopefully.
I like to see our country do well in everything. It's a shame they didn't do well in the football.
Yes.
So close. Yeah. But I don't know. It's a combination of things. You need everybody in the sport. Yeah. From a trainer, a business manager, a manager, everybody, nutritionist, the whole works. Yeah. And they all need to know their jobs. They don't need to get busy getting involved in something else.
Yeah.
So then the sport becomes more professional, more idealistic.
Yes.
But the way it's run sometimes, I mean, now, we have bare knuckle fighting used to be underground. It's now on the main spot. And it's probably going to be a very, very growing business now. It looks like it, but it just doesn't give me that oomph, because I want to see the gloves on and a real fight.
Yes, that's right. Well, I mean, as you know, I'm very much a traditionalist sort of martial artist, and I mean, all these sort of bare knuckle stuff.
Yeah, you got a six-pack, I can see.
all these, all these sort of new sort of fighting sort of combat type of like MMA and I think MMA certainly would be. I think I would definitely say it's a good self-defense system, but as a professional sport, I'm pretty much sort of not sort of in favor of it. But to each his own, as they say. So so I mean, is there any? You mentioned there's going to be a big sort of name, hopefully, but is there any other?
Two big names.
Yeah,
big.
But is there any other sort of like normal level type of boxer that you would like to promote? Say if that sort of boxer was present, would that be what sort of boxer would you ideally like to?
I'd like to get a good, strong middleweight, light middle, and a heavyweight.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for somebody of that stature. Doesn't matter if it's here or not here, but boxing is worldwide. It's a sport that we need to open up.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can speak about that.
One of my best heroes, I think, from growing up was Stallone.
Oh, right.
How you doing? All good?
Yeah. That's right. That's another sort of contentious...
Amazing character.
Yeah, he's an amazing character. In the film world, yes, he did absolutely amazingly. But as another sort of bit of a contentious figure for me, because a lot of casual boxers, say, "Oh, wasn't that Rocky film great?" And if you know about boxing and how
it was just a movie, but it was a great adaptation of what really happens.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in reality, really and truly, and if someone tried to box like that in reality, he wouldn't.
Apollo Creed.
Yeah, they don't last very long, I'm afraid. But yeah, that's looking at it from the technical side, and obviously in the movies that they like to exaggerate everything.
Of
And,
course.
and talking about movies, you know, you know, I'm so disappointed. And there hasn't been a good movie for ages. I mean,
No.
I saw that film called Monkey Man. I was absolutely, so disappointed. My goodness, I mean, are these reviewing guys? I mean, do they actually watch the same film or do they watch something else? Because the reviews they give like fantastic and incredible. When you go there, you think, what's going on? I mean, did these guys watch the same film that I'm watching?
Yeah, it's weird. It's crazy.
Monkey Man was nothing but that, wanton, irrelevant violence, and it seems to me that is a technique that a lot of directors use these days, because they haven't got a good storyline. So
Yeah.
there's every 5 seconds there's violence. Every 5 seconds there's like blood splattered scenes, and every 5 seconds there's swearing, and again with that film that's recently come out, more recently, that is the Deadpool and Wolverine. I was just, I mean, the words escape me, honestly. What on earth are these directors, producers, what are they doing? I mean, do those people who watch these sort of films, is it necessary for them to have any sort of sense of intelligence? I mean, I always have to sort of, walk away from it after the 10 minutes. I mean, it was so dreadful. But let's hope. I mean, as you know, I'm doing 2 screenplays, so.
Are you?
So I'm hoping to get some proper films out. Show them how to do it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look out for that. And great. Well. Shyam, we've been sort of talking away, but we've got to go to a break now. So let's have our first break, and of course we'll be back very shortly. Thank you.
Thinking about selling or letting your home? With Maxwell Estates, you don't need to look any further. Well established with over 15 years of experience, Maxwell Estates are specialists in residential sales and lettings. We manage over 200 properties in and around Northwest London, keeping our landlords and tenants updated with all the latest laws and legislations. Based in Edgware, our experienced specialist negotiators always ensure we maximize the full potential of your property. Call us now on 0208 952 0808 for a free no obligation quotation, or visit our website www.maxwellestates.co.uk for further information. Maxwell Estates, the name you can trust.
Have you just moved to the UK? You could open an account with a bank that understands your international needs. HSBC UK are here to lend a hand, as the Brits might say. Then you can get on with doing the important stuff like setting up bills, renting a property, getting a mobile, transferring money, and coming to terms with the weather. Start today by searching HSBC bank account. HSBC UK, opening up a world of opportunity. You have to be 18 or older and eligibility criteria apply. At HSBC UK, you are backed by the current account switch guarantee.
तकरीबन 60 मिलियन प्राइमरी स्कूल जाने वाले बच्चे इस वक्त स्कूल में दाखिल नहीं हैं। मयारी तालीम की फराहमी से पसमानदा बच्चों को गुर्बत के मुसलसल चक्कर से बचने का मुसावी मौका मिल सकता है। इस रमजान आइए आपके ताउन से इस बात को यकीनी बनाएं कि हर बच्चे को मयारी तालीम हासिल करने का मौका मिलेगा। मिनहाज वेलफेयर फाउंडेशन के जरिए बच्चे की तालीम को स्पॉन्सर करें। बस हमारे मकामी दफ्तर 12 कार रोड, नेल्सन, BB9 7JS पर तशरीफ लाएं। हमें 01282 723 455 पर कॉल करें या हमारी वेबसाइट www.minhajwelfare.org पर देखें। ताज़ा तरीन वीडियोस और अपडेट्स के लिए फेसबुक, इंस्टाग्राम और ट्विटर पर जुड़े रहें।
Nikah, talaq, counseling on matrimonial disputes, Islamic wills, Islamic law of inheritance, or an Islamic verdict on any other issue. The Muslim Sharia Council is at your service. We provide official certification, and our experienced and highly qualified imams are available to provide you with guidance when needed. MQI London is based at 292 to 296 Romford Road, Forest Gate. We are open from Monday to Friday 2 to 4 p.m. or alternatively call us now on 0208 257 1786.
Minhaj Sisters UK are proud to host their biannual retreat Al Tazkiyah 2024 from the 15th of November to the 17th of November. This year, the retreat will take place in Yarnfield Training and Conference Centre at Stoke-on-Trent. We are pleased to announce that we will be joined by Dr. Ghazala Hassan Qadri, President of Minhaj Women League UK, who will be our special guest for 3 days. Join us for an inspirational and fun-packed weekend. To find out more, please visit our website www.altazkia.com.
Moving to the UK can be rather overwhelming, but moving your money doesn't have to be. With HSBC Global Money, you can convert, send, or spend multiple currencies around the world whenever you want with no HSBC fees. So you'll be right as rain, as they say in the UK. Search HSBC Global Money, HSBC UK, opening up a world of opportunity. Available.
And welcome back to the Mahtab Aziz Celebrity Lawyer Show. And the first half of the program, we sort of dug into Shyam Batra's previous work and dealings in the boxing world. Very interesting indeed. Let's spring forward to the present. And Shyam, tell us about your experiences as a candidate for the London Mayor. How did that go?
A candidate, yeah. I think I need to write a book.
Right.
Well, I started in September. I had this feeling that I needed to help people. And one of the reasons of doing it was to go out there and help the public.
Right.
I'm very passionate for the kids. And I created this product called City, which I've now registered.
Right.
City is community or communication, infrastructure, transition, and youth. And so I wanted something that people would relate to, that involves them, their families, and also a country or a city, for example. And it's the perfect emblem. And so I gathered my team together, got everything ready. By the time we started, it was about November time. And then, of course, we had agendas, we had the timeline set up and everything.
Yeah.
The journey was interesting, but difficult to ascertain because the system that they use is corrupt.
Right.
There's no two ways about it. It is corrupt. City Hall is fully corrupt in the sense that the mayor's office has no transparency over his head at all. And so he can do what he wants, which he does. There's no determination of how much money he's spending. Every year, the city's in a debt of around 18 billion. It's not millions, it's billions. We don't know where the money goes. So
Yes.
I go into my journey. I go through the realms. We go to our meetings. They just tell us bits by bits by bits. They don't just say in one go, this is what you need to do. You are now a candidate, and now you have to do this, this, and this. When I ran for my journey, I wasn't a candidate, as you probably know yourself, till the 13th of March, 2024. Now, we had all this time. So if we were given a lengthy time period to go and get the names, the numbers, which is the formalities of what people need to do, I had to go and get 10 names from every borough, 330 names from 33 boroughs.
Right.
But along the way, I was being stopped by the councils because you had to get the data from the councils.
Right.
Nobody had the electoral numbers at all. And when I used to go to the streets to speak to the businesses, to the people at home, they used to say to me that, oh, we haven't received any data from the councils. We haven't received our cards. We don't know the electoral numbers. I said, okay, well, I'll contact the councils, don't worry. So when I contacted them, they said, oh, you're not a candidate till the 19th of March. I said, what do you mean? We've been running, I've got publications out since January. Everything's going smoothly. I'm a candidate. No, you're not a candidate until we tell you you're a candidate. And you're a candidate on the 19th of March. So I had to ring them back again. And I said, okay, I'm a candidate now. May I have the data? Oh, you need to fill in a registration form. Okay, I fill in the registration form. I had to fill in 33 registration forms again. Wait for them to come back to me.
Right.
And then they said, okay, you're a candidate now. But you need a password.
Right.
I said, why didn't you tell me this earlier? We're wasting time. And this time period was very important because the 27th of March was approaching. And we were given from the 19th of March to the 27th of March to run and get 330 names and the electoral numbers. And people think it's very easy. I mean, you've done some of it yourself in one borough. I had to do it in 33 boroughs.
Yes.
And I was going through the nights. I was spending 20 hours a day almost, and an hour to get home,
Right.
and then we would start back again at 9 o'clock.
Right. That's incredible achievement. I mean, so
And
many boroughs and
I got over 7,500 names, not
Yeah.
330, but
right.
everybody I spoke to, I said, would
Yeah.
you vote for Khan? No chance, no way, no way, no way. One guy said, I'll vote for him,
Right.
but everybody else. So it begs the question
Yes.
that the system is broke. I wouldn't say broken. It's created as a corrupt system. He seems to get in. He's now in the third term, and he hasn't showed any success in what he has done. He hides knife crime. I mean, the one thing I want to tell the public is that I went through to the public. I went to the hospitals, the nursing homes and other places, and they're all quiet. They don't want to tell you how many knife crimes there are in a day and a night.
Right. Yes. I mean, obviously, I take on your views. From your experience, you feel that there is corruption, but corruption obviously is a wide-ranging word. I mean, it could be, it could mean, recklessness or incompetence.
It's all of those. It's everything. It's the whole word. It's nothing else. I mean,
that's right. I mean, we don't have obviously we don't have someone from the other side to be able to refute that. But this is your personal
no,
experience.
but if you take the councils themselves, why are all the councils bankrupt?
Yeah.
90% of the councils are bankrupt.
Right.
Most of them were Labour driven. Now Labour is back in. So what have they done this year or last year to create something for the councils? First of all, why are we paying council tax? Nobody knows.
Yeah.
What are we paying council tax for? And it's just creeping up and up and up. And I know that Keir Starmer clearly was trying to avoid the question when Sunak was asking him, are you putting the council tax up? Well, clearly, if there's no money in the pot, where is the money going to come from?
Sure.
Or are we going to print it? We're supposed to be the 5th largest economy in the world.
Yeah.
So how is this to happen? If you can't run a city, how can you run a country?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Birmingham was famously made bankrupt, wasn't it?
There's Croydon. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's many, and I don't know how they're surviving or what is going on. But the CEOs are still on 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 a year.
That is actually very scandalous. I mean, not only those, but also the
NHS.
Water, the water companies.
Yes.
I mean, they earn more than the Prime Minister, yet it's still in the mess. Sure. Okay. So as far as your experience is concerned with the actual being a candidate and trying to get that nomination, that's been a bit of obviously a very negative experience for you. But in terms of in your campaign, you raised quite a few issues which seem to appear to attract a lot of the public. You want to tell us something about those issues?
You mean the useless charge?
You start off with that,
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it was an unnecessary charge that should never ever have come onto the table here.
Right.
People are paying money for no reason. Why? I mean, I've done a post, as you know, C40 15-minute cities that I'd like to discuss after we've discussed about this. And that is what I said. One of the words I used was, we are going to be in an open prison. And so what is this? We're being charged to enter our own city. So if we walked there, we don't get charged.
Right. So can you just outline, if you're able, can you just outline the basic frame? Because a lot of people won't know about this concept, you see. So is this something that's proposed, or is it part of a bill, or is it something that's been discussed for the future? Or
well, the ULEZ charge was accepted, I think, by Johnson, I believe.
Right.
Was it Johnson? Oh, no, it was a congestion, I think. And then ULEZ charge came along, and I think he's had our present mayor has had a good involvement in it.
Yeah.
And what he's done is by creating this charge and lying to the public and saying that, it's all because of pollution. The cars are giving out so much pollution, and used one poor girl in a study that had asthma from the very beginning, that she died, and he blamed it on climate change, the crisis of driving the cars in London with all of the fumes and everything else. Well, if you're using a 20-mile-an-hour lane now, you're chucking out more fumes, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
But we're living in a world. We're living in a sky and a sun and an earth. We can't change this system.
Yeah.
And these cars are certainly not going to damage people's health. If they were, there wouldn't be millions and millions of cars on the roads every day. Now, the ULEZ charge that was created was a totally unnecessary charge. And he had also created Project Detroit. Which,
yeah, so if I can, sorry, if I can just explain, so the ULEZ charge really was for vehicles of a certain type, and particularly diesel vehicles.
Diesel, basically, if the car was older than a certain amount of age, you can drive it, but you have to pay the charge.
Yeah.
Like me, I have an older car.
Right.
Why should I give my older car away and get £2,000 for it as scrappage?
Right.
When it's perfectly clean and nice and beautiful.
So
it actually gives me more fuel than a new car.
Right. So apart from being old, it's also diesel.
It's a diesel car.
Right.
But I think it's wrong. This and other charges should not be. We shouldn't be paying them. Why are the embassies and councils not paying the ULEZ charge? This is wrong.
Right. But is your objection based upon what you feel is basically a failure or a system that doesn't actually is not fit for purpose?
I think a huge lie is being told to the public, and the public are forced to pay it. And I do believe that is hitting the human rights section, because we are living in a country that is, we are born here. We're living in a country that is ours. The walking we do on the pavements. What, are we going to get charged for that now? I mean, just because we drive a car, we need cars to get to places. I live in a rural area. I need a car. I don't have no bus stops here. I don't have a train that's nearby. Everything's 5-6 miles away, maybe more. So I need a car. Now, I say to you this, that bet your bottom dollar, I said that he would implement a charge on Blackwall Tunnel, ULEZ charge, and Silver Street. And what is he going to do? In January 2025, he's going to, and he lied and he said he would never do that. Now, Labour's coming in. Labour's coming now. Labour is going to, I can guarantee that Labour will create the ULEZ charge across the country. It's a big money earner.
Yeah.
Why do we need to charge our people £15 a day for what?
Right. So what you're saying is that
we pay road tax. What about that?
Right. But essentially, what you're saying is that the information that's been put forward in terms of
misleading.
The reasoning behind why this has been imposed. What you're saying is that's not correct. I mean, are you saying that diesel cars do not result in pollution?
No, none of the cars do. In reality, none of the cars do. But point I'm making is, we had a road tax. The road tax meant that when we drive the car on the road, we pay a tax £300 a year.
Yeah.
Now that road tax then gets accelerated into a congestion charge and a ULEZ charge, and then other unnecessarily charges like Project Detroit pay per mile, which he venomously denied that he had nothing to do with it, but it's all on the web. And he spent a lot of money developing it. This is an unnecessary charge. Why are the embassies not paying for it? If the embassies don't pay, why should we pay? If the employees of the council boroughs are not paying for the ULEZ charge, why are we paying? We are the civilians that bring people into power to help us to do lots of things for our communities, our children, and everything else, and run business. How can we do it?
Right.
I mean, can I just say one more thing? The ULEZ charge, how many businesses has it impacted on? Restaurants, businesses, people. There are a lot of people that drive in. 69,000 a day are paying the ULEZ charge, maybe more now. There's even more cars on the road.
Right. But isn't the government encouraging people not to use these older diesel vehicles by giving them the scrappage amount?
But why? Why do we need to get rid of an older car? Older cars are worth more money now. And the diesel and the petrol, the difference between them is hardly negligible. It's only the price. Yeah. But because don't you remember that when the BMW X5 came out, they never even made a charge on that, did they? They were encouraging people to use diesel all the time.
Yeah.
How come it's so bad now?
Yeah, well, at that point, yes. I mean, probably what they'll say is that at that point they didn't realize, the extent of the impact.
I think it's hypocrisy.
Yeah.
It's wrong. By putting these unnecessary, we've got council tax, we've got ULEZ charge, congestion charge, we've got other unnecessary charges being pounded on. Now they're gonna start doing the tunnels.
Yeah.
What is next? And then he wants to create this pay per mile. I know for a fact that it's going to hit the streets because so much investment went in there.
Yeah.
As I said to you, unnecessary money is being spent for no reason. Whilst there's homeless people on the streets, there's a cost of living crisis. I mean, I went to a shopping centre the other day. In the shopping area, there is a food bank.
Yes. Yeah.
From a shop that's empty.
Yes.
But there's a food bank. Now, I mean, it's sad that all this money that he's spending, he could have given to the public, to the children. Stop knife crime. Stop all these unnecessary things that are happening. Knife crime is on the up and up and up and up. And before May, he said, "Oh, the knife crime's gone down," because he told all the hospitals not to say anything about knife crime if anybody comes and asks you. It's wrong. What world are we living in that we have to face these problems? But these charges, I'm paying £28 a day because I go to London every day to shows and stuff. And it's not fair on me. I don't want to pay it anymore. I'm not going to pay it anymore. Right. I say that instead of smashing the cameras, and I know they're being smashed every day, instead of smashing them, just don't pay. There's no reason. Why are we paying for this?
Right.
Road tax, the roads are busted.
Right. Yeah. I mean, road tax is meant to.
But can you imagine? You're going to your city with your family, and you've got to pay like 28 quid today.
Yeah.
And then parking. Come on.
That's right.
This is not right.
That's right. I mean, I have noticed, these sort of parking bays have, just sprung up all over the place. It used to be before where you were living near an underground station, a popular underground station. So there used to be, the locals would say, yes, agree to it. But now it seems it's just like a blanket rolling out of.
It's everywhere. I mean, I live in my town. As soon as I hit the N25, I've got to pay. This is absurd.
Yes.
So it goes to my question about C40, 15-minute cities.
Yes.
They are not hidden. They're hidden by the government and the WEF because they didn't want anyone to know. I was one of the first guys to bash it out there, and my post has gone to over 22 million people now.
Yes, that's very good.
So
very good. Yes, I mean, in terms of what you're saying the future holds. So I take it from what you tell me that you seem to hold a very sort of bleak view of.
Yes, I'm afraid so. I mean, we're on one side we've got a new government that says change. They didn't say change to what? Change to more taxes. Change to less money. What is the change? In one stage, there is no money left in the pot. Well, I think Conservatives ran England for 14 years. They couldn't have squandered all that money. And it's not only that. I think, like you said about that word, it's carelessness, recklessness. We are bringing in people from the streets who are becoming members of parliament. First of all, they should be called members of the public. They shouldn't be called members of parliament. Secondly, what education have they received? What do they know about common sense? How do they tackle the normal person that's on the street? When I was running for mayor, just after I left, I got 50 people off the streets for homelessness. And I made them go to the councils. And these guys, they're all guys, they didn't even know what to do, how to get a benefit. They didn't even know that these things existed, yet they were on the street asking for money, people giving them foods, because a lot of them were business people. They divorced, wives took the kids, houses went, everything went wrong, and they ended up on the street. So I took them to the councils and I said, sit here. Even if the police come, you sit here. You have a divine right. It's a council that looks after the borough that you're in. And they weren't happy with me because I took them to quite a few. But the first one was very, very difficult. They called the police.
Right.
And the police came and said, what do you want us to do?
Yeah.
He's homeless.
Mm.
You want us to put him back on the street?
Mm.
He's got refuge here.
Yeah.
You deal with it. It's your
Mm.
problem.
Yeah.
So they had to deal with it. And if you don't know things,
Mm.
so there's a lot of people that abuse the system. The system is broken anyway. It's old. It's antiquated. But the ones that don't know the system,
Yes.
I taught them, and I said, and now these people, about 49 of them have got a place to stay.
Mm.
And that's because of me opening my mouth
Right.
and doing something for someone,
Right.
because it's fair. That where is our fairism here? You know,
Mm.
these people are just ridiculed. Yet you've got people coming in from Romania
Yeah.
who've got the right to remain here.
Mm.
They go on Oxford Street
Mm.
begging for money.
Mm.
They get a lot of money and then they go back.
Right. Right. Well,
Yeah.
yes.
It's
mm.
not right. Our system, if you've got a government, they've got to be tough, strong, and to the point. You know,
Yeah.
I'd like to be in government one day. And this is one of the reasons why I'm going to start the world's first non-political party. It's about time we don't do politics. And it's about time we fix things.
Yes.
Things need fixing. If people have broken them, let's fix them or change the system.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And we haven't got much time left. You know,
okay.
we've had so much to talk about, and it's been very interesting so far, Shyam, to talking to you. And I think we've got about 5 minutes left. I think we ought to touch upon the events this week up in Manchester, where police officers were, you know, accused of brutality, and a young man was stamped and kicked while he was lying prone. I mean, I think Manchester police already had a bit of a negative public image due to previous reports. But I think this latest incident certainly, I think, you know, has turned a lot of the public against the police generally. And I think obviously we don't know the full facts, but I mean, as a lawyer, I would say that you know, that sort of behaviour cannot be justified under any circumstances, because what you're doing is you're punishing someone and actually doing a criminal offence of assault whilst they are in a very vulnerable and exposed position, and that should not be something done by the police.
I agree with you. I think what it is common sense as well has gone out the window. Orders from above are in place, and just because you have the badge of the police, a minority will spoil it for the majority.
Yes.
So the police is a very intact society. The workers in there have communications with themselves because they're scared of the outside world now. They've also got this stigma that if you go out to a knife crime or some accident or some incident, and a bunch of them go out there, they're on their wits, but they're doing a very, very tough job.
Yes.
I think one of the issues is that a lot of the people, I don't think, have been screened properly.
Yeah.
The system that they're using is far too long. You know, to become a police officer, I think it takes up to 2 years. You're on probation.
Yes.
A lot of the time.
Yes.
But going back to Manchester, I am quite disappointed. I think the mayor, again, you see, it's constituencies and cities. Now, what did the government do about it? Nothing, until the media went to Starmer and said, whatever. Why can't he get up on the radio or TV and say, stop this now? And I want to see you, the mayor, and the commissioner at my office, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, as to what did you do? This is a public outrage because, as I said to you, all of the police are not bad.
Yes.
A lot of them are amazing. I have a very dear friend of mine who is a police officer. She works extremely hard and tries to keep the law and respect going. But they are scared as well. But there was no reason to stamp someone on the head.
Yes.
What's next? If he had a gun, would he shoot him?
Absolutely. And talking about shooting, I mean, this is something that we're well aware of. Happens in America a lot. They shoot first and then ask questions after.
Well, they did that lady, didn't they?
That's right. Yeah.
She came for called for a disturbance in the house, and she went to reach something, and he shot her dead.
That's right. Absolutely.
I mean, the
Terrible.
Manchester police are nothing like the Met Police.
Yeah.
Why are they not given the same type of training? I don't understand.
That's right. That is the essential, the crux of the whole thing. I think it's training and more staff. These are the two things.
There's-
Funding, of course.
Yes.
These are the three.
Well, the
issues.
biggest problem of all is there is nobody interested in
Yeah.
going into the police force. What do they look forward to? The
Yeah.
pay is not so great. A lot of them are joining and
Yeah.
then getting their training, and they're going off to Canada
Mm.
or America or Australia.
Yeah.
And why not?
Mm.
I don't blame them.
Mm.
I really don't, because if you're going to treat our majority services in a minority financial position,
Yes.
what are you going to get?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Well, on that point of agreement, we've come to the end of the show. How time flies.
We'll have to do it again.
Yeah, and absolutely great. I mean, there's lots there.
There's lots to cover.
Yeah, lots to cover. It requires two shows, actually, even three probably. But
Yeah.
but we'll certainly it would be great to have you back again.
Thank you
Shyam.
very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Very informative, and we haven't actually spoken about a lot of the issues that you're quite sort of well versed in, and so we'll have to do that next time. So from me today and my guest Shyam Batra, have a good evening and goodbye, and see you next week from the Celebrity Lawyer Show.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Revive